Good afternoon, Mr. Claywell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ham.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, sir.
Awesome.
And also,
Special guest tonight.
good afternoon, Mr. Marples.
Mr. Claywell.
How are you
Mr.
doing?
Ham. I'm well.
Awesome. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well, sir.
Yes, sir.
Does not happen nearly enough.
No.
Indeed.
We definitely need to get together much more often than we do.
I agree.
So, episode 2.
Episode 2, we did the thing, and now we're going to do it again.
How strange is that?
I had so much fun.
I did too. We definitely need to throw some thank yous out there.
Without a doubt, sir. Without a doubt. And I personally would like to, there's 4 key people I would like to thank.
Okay.
I got to thank you, sir, for coming over and helping me get this started.
Hey.
I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
I got to thank Mr. Marples here for putting the bug in my ear and getting the idea, the seed planted.
Absolutely.
To get this going. I got to thank 2 friends of mine, a couple of brothers, Jake and Bob Calder. They've been putting the podcast on for about 2 years now, and kind of showed me that you don't have to have a load of stuff. You don't have to be some big celebrity.
No, a couple of mics and some nice recording stuff. Hey, you can do it in your living room.
Exactly.
How about that?
Thanks to those guys for pushing me into it a little bit, and also thanks to Mr. Baker for hooking us up with some of the graphic design and helping with some of the back end stuff. Getting everything set up.
Yes, those guys. I mean, couldn't do it without them, right?
Without a doubt, yeah, that's correct. I wouldn't be doing this without those people.
And you
guys.
One more big thank you.
Sure.
Those people that are following us now on Facebook page, those downloads, absolutely. We thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised by the number of downloads that we've gotten. I was surprised by all the support that we're getting. It
was more than just Mom that downloaded us.
Right, exactly. It was. And it means a lot. I appreciate it. Everybody out there that's listening and giving us the feedback, it means a lot.
Indeed.
And I had a couple of people asking me, moving into another topic here, I had a couple of people asking me after they listened to the first episode, and I was not the one that was involved in this, so I'll pass that information along to you. Have you heard any updates on the poor little kid that was struck by the vehicle outside your house?
We have, yes.
Good.
Yep. His aunt has been posting to social media updates pretty much on a daily basis. He has woken up. He has been moved, of course, from critical condition to serious condition. Long road to recovery, but he is awake. He is recognizing people, speaking. They're moving him from UK to another branch. I think it's more of a physical therapy, directed branch of the UK facility up there. And he's recovering. So I guess a miracle.
That's great.
Yeah. It was
that's
crazy. Honestly, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that he was going to make it, but because when he left, I thought this is the worst for this kid. So,
right, and given the descriptions you were given from some of the stuff, it sounded like he was in bad shape.
Yeah, and one of the updates, and I didn't know this is a thing, but have you guys ever heard of foggy brain?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so that's that's a thing. So evidently, this is something that is commonly seen in sports-related injuries, especially to the head. Like concussions and things like that. Basically, they say it's almost like having fog on the brain. You have to clear that, and it takes a long time. The brain is kind of rewiring itself and reworking itself, and that's one of the conditions that he's suffering from. But like I say, road to recovery, right?
Well, that's good. Yeah, man. Lucky kid.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, yeah.
Well, and sounds like a happy ending to the story, hopefully.
Well, I hope so. I would say I'd like to see him riding his bike again, but not on Murphy Avenue.
No.
Well, not in the street, right?
Not in the street.
Yeah.
Maybe at the church parking lot or something.
There you go. Even cut through the yard. I don't care.
Right.
So, episode 1 was pretty much a success. I mean, we really enjoyed, recording it. The discussion. It was really really a fun thing to do. So let's dive into our topics for episode 2.
Right on. Well, speaking of stories and happy endings and all that, how about you guys? Would you like to nerd out a little bit?
Do we not do that like on a daily basis? I think I'll wake up nerded out.
Yeah, only constantly.
But on tape.
Oh, you mean like officially?
Like, okay, so you want want a record of it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe we could talk about books, reading, stories, some of our favorites.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Right on. I'll start off.
Okay.
So, personally, I think one of my favorite stories of all time has got to be Alice in Wonderland.
That's definitely a great story.
I love the story. Not so much a fan of Through the Looking Glass, the literature part of the story, but there is a book called Neverwhere, and to me, it's like if the story of Alice in Wonderland was about adults and concerning more adult themes. It's a fantastical journey. This poor run-of-the-mill everyday British guy gets swept up in this world of high fantasy with all kinds of crazy creatures. There's talking rats. There's a whole other world called London below. He's from London specifically. Everything is kind of based off a pun. So there's the Knight's Bridge is a bridge which actually belongs to the knight.
Oh, that's cool.
And it terrifies everyone that crosses it. There's all kinds of other similar things that are pun throughout. I don't want to ruin them all.
No.
It's a really, in my opinion, it's a great story. It does follow a lot of that. In my mind, the Alice in Wonderland type, there's the poor, hapless, good-hearted main character that's swept up into all this crazy antics of all these people around him that are all part of this other world that exists that he had no idea of beforehand. And his whole journey is trying to get back to his regular mundane life.
Sounds good. Sounds like an interesting read for sure.
Yeah, it is. It, in my opinion, it's a great story. I just really like the character arcs and the way the story's told. It's by Neil Gaiman.
Excellent. I just saw that author. He actually has a new book that's coming out here in about, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. I don't recall the title right off the top of my head, but I did see that he has one that was on the Barnes & Noble list.
Oh, yeah? Is it do you know if it's another children's book? Because he's been writing a lot of children's books lately.
Maybe, yeah. Seems like it was. But it was part of a series. So, yeah. It may have been like book 1 of this series.
That's a new one for him. He usually just does one. Yeah. I think the only exception I've seen to that is he followed up American Gods with the Nancy Boys.
Yeah.
But I don't think he typically doesn't do
like a series type run.
Yeah, not books.
Yeah.
I mean, he famously wrote the Sandman comics.
Right.
But I mean, that's a little bit different case.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell a great story in one issue of a comic book. But
very true. Very true.
He did win a literary prize for one issue of Sandman, where they retold Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh yeah, that's a great story too.
Yeah, and the way he retells it is pretty good. Because you know how in Midsummer Night's Dream, the whole thing basically takes place as the characters are asleep dreaming.
Right.
Well, Sandman, being the bringer of sleep and dreams, has a pretty big effect on the story.
I can imagine so. In a story like Midsummer Night's Dream, yeah,
Right. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a really good story, and he won, and that is the only time a comic book has won that prize.
You know, that's one of
after-
the things too. It seems like comic books in general are overlooked as an art form.
They are, and after he won, they specifically changed that that award so that in the future, comic books were not allowed to win it for some reason.
See that? Why would you cut off an entire genre and the storytelling that takes place in comic books? Because some of the character development and the story arcs and the entire universe in comic books is so massive.
Oh yeah.
Why would you take that away from? I guess I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where it may just be unfair because some of it is so good.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they're still getting past the whole comic books are for children. You've got that historical context that people are still fighting against, even though more comic book readers are our age now than children's age. You still have this
very true.
You still have this like stigma, so to speak, of that comics are geared and designed for children, so they're not taken seriously. Because people like Gaiman and Alan Moore, for example.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
That are helping to reshape that to an extent.
Yeah.
Looks like his new book is actually on Norse mythology.
Oh, he's going back to the gods again, huh?
Yeah, Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
okay.
that one I hadn't seen.
Yeah, so it's right here. It's Mr. Hero. It comes out, looks like August 29th.
That's just
This is volume 1 and 2 is what it says. And it's like a boxed set. This one is based on from the description that I read. In the late 1800s or sometime in late 1800s, early 1900s, a guy builds an like artificial intelligent, being, and it messes up. So he stores it away. Like basically 100 years later, they rediscover this thing, and it's basically trying to function in a modern world. And it seems to fit in more in today's kind of society. That's what the description was. And it looked like it'd be interesting.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Right on.
So
It's Mr. Hero.
Mr.
I'll
Hero,
have to look for that.
complete comics boxed set. So volumes 1 and 2. So I guess it's just another one of those graphic novels, But yeah, like I said, it looked interesting.
Yeah, it sounds pretty neat.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Marbles? You got a favorite book?
It's hard to narrow down to just one.
Well, a couple of books then.
The one that I go back to over and over is probably Stephen King's The Long Walk. Actually written as Richard Bachman, but
Yeah, you gave me a copy of that.
I've reread that book and given away that book probably more than any other one that I've ever read.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've given you a copy. I gave Mr. Ham a copy. It's just one of those I keep going back to. It stays with you. There's not a lot of world development. You know that it's set in the future by a few of the little things that are dropped in it, but it's so much character development, and it's children. And these children are going through these horrible things, and children should not have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just fascinating to watch how warped and messed up their world becomes, and they become through this kind of forced march across the country.
Right. It's set in America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it doesn't,
Stephen King is one of those writers for me. I can read him, but I have to almost read him in. I don't know, it's almost like drinking something too cold. I have to take small sips, and because I don't know, it's just his writing is so descriptive, and sometimes it's so hard to read because he throws some of those very uncomfortable things in, and it's. There's a scene that stands out in my mind in the Dark Tower series whenever it describes the little boy, how he dies.
when Jake dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't get that out of my mind. The description that he gave of what the boy felt, it was unreal. So it's one of those that, like I say, I just kind of have to read him in small bits.
Which I agree with what you've said. He's very good at kind of drilling into the parts of our brain that don't want to hear about or deal with those things.
Yeah.
And just tightening down and tweaking that to death.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, you can only want to deal with that for a certain amount of time. I think you're talking about the scene where he gets hit with a car.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's
It's unreal.
pretty graphic.
Very graphic. Yeah. Like the description that he gives of the taste, the smell, the feeling is just,
Everything.
oh my God. Yeah.
Eyes of the Dragon is the same way.
Really.
There's a lot of very, like you feel like you're in that world.
Yeah.
It's so descriptive.
It's wild. He's an amazing author.
And unfortunately, from the two books you guys are both talking about, the only two things I can strictly recall right offhand are the scene you're talking about from the Dark Tower books,
Right.
where Jake is bleeding from his eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and rectum.
And tasting
I recall that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the Eyes of the Dragon, I recall, did not King Richard vomit in a bowl and call the court jester to come dine from this hot soup?
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I'm done with this book now.
Yeah. It's like, I need to step away from him.
I have no reason to continue reading this at all anymore.
Wow.
Take a break.
Okay, so I think I have my choice for going, I guess, favorite. Took me a long time to develop this favorite because it's another one of those that I had to read in small chunks. And then when I finally sat down and was like, I'm going to read this thing cover to cover right now. It's Kerouac's On the Road. It's one of those books that I've been handed so many times by various people and said, "You've got to read this. You've got to read this. This is a great book." And I'm like, that seems very pretentious of you to say I have to read this. But no, and here's the thing though. After getting past the first 25 to 30 pages, it sucks you in. It is a journey, and he really takes you on that journey with him. And it's a really, really good book. So, you know, kudos to Dave Wilson for keep handing me that book and saying, here, you've got to read this. You've got to read this. It was really a good book. It was a great read. And the stream of consciousness way he writes it's unique. It's it's different, we'll say.
Right. Now, one of his other books, Slaughterhouse 5, is that the same guy?
I have no idea. This is the one that I've read
Okay.
by him.
On the Road. What do they do? Is it like a road trip? Or?
It's basically you're following Dean Moriarty. This fella he kind of breaks away from society. Jumps on a train. It's a journey of youth, pretty much. These late teenage, early 20-year-olds running from one side of the country to the other in the 1950s, living off the land and just being free. It's like I say, it's just a good journey. The film adaptation of it was not bad as well. It was fair. It stayed fairly true to the story. I don't really recall any parts that were glaringly, out of place. So yeah, I mean, if you need the abridged version, watch the film. If you really want to delve into it and hear, blow man blow, then pick up the book. It's worth a read.
I've always heard really good things about the book, but I have yet to find the time to actually read it.
It's 176 pages, and like I say, for me, it was a kind of a tough read because the stream of consciousness way it's written, like there are no chapters, there are no breaking points. It's basically he starts, and the whole thing was written on a scroll.
Oh,
It's
wow.
one big long piece of paper that was put into a typewriter, and he just started writing, typing. And from the beginning to the end, there's no punctuation on the scroll. There's no editing. It's just what came to his mind at that point, and that's it. That's the way it is. So
But yeah, it's
You
gonna
say
take-
that, and in my mind, I picture those old movie things where that shows the newspaper press spooling up, and they got this giant roll.
Big
of
giant
paper.
roll.
Yeah,
Exactly,
That's what
yeah.
I'm picturing when you say
yeah,
that.
I mean, realistically, that's kind of the way it was. He started typing this up, locked himself in a room for like 2 to 3 weeks, and on the back side of that, when he came out of it, he handed them this scroll and said, "Here you go. There's my book." And they
it's not
had to
like-
kind of break it apart, put the punctuation in where it needs to go, proofread it, but there was really no major changes. It was just that journey. So
Right on,
pretty neat, pretty interesting.
very cool.
right on.
So, okay, we've got favorite book. So, do you guys have like a favorite series of books? Like, specific author, specific series, something that kind of ties things together or anything like that?
At least 2. I have
Yeah.
to go with Jim Butcher's Dresden Files,
Oh, yeah.
and that epicness. It's up to
I agree.
15 books now?
I think
like that?
if you're only counting the actual novels and not some of the spin-off works he's done, the short stories, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been waiting a while now for the next book, but he's been dealing with some personal items that set that back.
Well, and the Aeronauts Windlass.
Yeah, and then he kicked off that new series. That's true.
Right.
I haven't had time to read that yet.
It's good.
Is it?
It's good. It's as far as a foray into fantasy, I find it better than the Codex Alara.
Yeah, those got rather repetitive.
I agree. And the thing that really bugged me in the Codex series was the whole, at that same moment, at the precise time, instantly.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, we get it, but everything happens at the exact same split second in time. This whole book takes place over 5 minutes.
Right.
I understand.
Wow.
It's not that bad, but there's a lot of repetition in there of events, and
I really need to give this series a look because you guys, I've heard both of you talk about it and
Which
how
one's
good
that?
it is. The
Yeah, which
Dresden
one?
Files.
Dresden?
Yeah.
Files is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
really
get past, what, first 2?
The first 2 are a little slow. I think the third one is where it really starts picking up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
he kind of finds his stride around the 3rd, 4th book. Because that was his first foray into writing was the Dresden Files.
Yeah.
So it took him at least those 2 books to get character developed and kind of figure out where he's going with all of this. For the uninitiated, it's a modern day telling of a wizard living in Chicago.
Yeah.
And things like elves and pixies.
All this
Everything.
is there.
Demons,
guys.
yeah,
basically,
gods,
demons,
basically
dragons,
pick up a fantasy
dragons,
world and throw it in ours.
vampires.
Yeah, and you kind of it's almost like taking a high fantasy world like Tolkien, for example, and overlaying it into modern day Chicago. So they both exist, but in the same time.
Right.
That's
And
cool. That's
a
very
lot
cool.
of a lot of the Dresden stuff is more Celtic mythology based.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
So it's not, they're not, you don't call them fairies.
No, they're pixies.
They are the Shay.
oh,
Shay.
the Shay.
They are the Shay.
Shay and Faye.
They are the nobles of.
Nice.
Yeah, you've got, and I did look some of it up, and he does actually use some of the Celtic. Queen Mab,
Yeah.
the Queen of Air and Darkness, the Queen of the Winter Fae, and Titania, the Queen of Light, the Queen of the Summer Fae, and
That's cool.
all that. Yeah,
That is very
He
cool.
pulls in. He doesn't rely just on what we would consider like European mythology. He pulls from a little bit of everywhere.
yep.
He's
There's
pulled
some
stuff
Norse.
from Norse. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess imagining if he set this fantasy world in ours, of course, there's going to be the fantasy of the entire world that he's going to be able to pull into it.
Right.
which is kind of the perfect way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's everything you can ever imagine across every culture exists somewhere.
That's very, very cool.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
Vampires and werewolves play semi-large part. Vampires especially.
That's very cool. I would definitely have to check that series out.
It's really good. It's like it's kind of like a hard-boiled detective thing because
Yeah,
he advertises
definitely.
himself as in the Yellow Pages as a professional wizard. Most people think that's just a gag to get business.
Yeah.
And they hire him as like a private detective.
Okay.
Which is how it
So,
starts out. The first couple of books are like he's a private eye,
Yeah.
more or less. It's just that he's used to dealing with these things that other people either choose to ignore or they simply don't see.
Right.
I think he advertises, what is it, like lost items found?
Yeah. No love spells.
Yeah, no love spells,
love spells.
specifically like
Yeah.
on his business card.
no love potion number 9.
Exactly. But yeah, I cannot recommend that entire series highly enough.
That's awesome. Awesome.
The other series has to be The Dark Tower.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had a buddy in high school, right around the time the Drawing of the Three came out, who was like, "Look, this book's ready to come out. You have to read these other two." And kind of like you were saying, it was like, "Well, that's rather pretentious. I have to read
Yes,
these books. Who are you
yes.
to tell me to read these books?" But being the nerd that I am, I was like, "Well, this fellow nerd is recommending this book series. I should probably check this out." And yeah, immediately drawn in.
Yeah.
Just so much depth and flavor and character development. You want to know what happens next with these characters. Even though the first book almost stands alone, you want more. You really want to know what's going to happen.
Right. Right.
And kind of like with Butcher, King develops the world that the Dark Tower is set in is our world to an extent, but definitely ties into our world through these doors. So you're familiar with certain elements that he pulls in, and he pulls in, like the gunslinger,
Right.
like the Western theme.
Yep.
He pulls in these weird android robotic animals. Just so much magic. Pulls in magic. Going back to what we were talking about before, it ties into Eyes of the Dragon, for example. It's just, he develops this huge, huge universe that you want to dive into.
Yeah. Yeah. I've read the first 2, and they were good. They were good. I just don't have the others, so I don't have access to them at the moment. So
Right.
But yeah, and it's been a few years ago that I read them. But so how do you feel about the film that's coming up? Are you
Very
looking forward?
excited.
Yeah.
I was a little. It's really weird. It's like everybody was throwing back against Idris Elba playing the gunslinger.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with that so much as
McConaughey
McConaughey playing the Man in Black.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a strange casting choice, but all right. I like McConaughey. I
do
think
too.
he'll
I
do
do
fine. It was just seemed like an unorthodox
Choice.
casting.
Yeah,
I would have went older, but
Pardon me. You're going to have to refresh my memory. Who is the Man in Black?
so he's known as different characters in different Stephen King books.
Oh,
Like for example, he's in The Stand.
the flag character.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's Randall Flagg. He is
Yeah.
the man who walks. He's the Man in Black. He's
Wait. He ain't no Johnny Cash.
ah.
I'll tell you that right now.
He goes by several different names depending on which book he was mentioned in.
Okay. That's that character. I got you.
Yeah. The very opening line in the first book is the Man in Black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed.
Right.
I mean,
And
that
that's
that
from
alone sucks you in.
Yeah.
right. That's from an old poem, isn't it?
Yeah. Browning, I think. I'm probably
I'm-
I'm
I have no
probably
idea.
wrong, but I think that's it.
Pretty cool.
Child
Pretty cool.
rolling to the Dark Tower came.
Yeah. Yeah, those definitely both. I mean, like I said, Dresden Files I haven't read, and I've read part of Dark Tower series, and what I read I enjoyed. So yeah, awesome, excellent. So, Mr. Claywell, do you have anything you want to add? Like any series that stands out above the rest to you?
Well, I was going to say that the Dresden Files is by far one of my favorite series.
Right.
But as you guys both know, I spend a lot of time unable to read, and I get a lot of my entertainment audio
Right.
wise.
Right.
Hey, you know what? It's just fine if someone's reading to you.
Right.
Agreed.
Exactly. That's just the way I feel
Most of us
about it.
started. I mean,
So there is a series of books that I have enjoyed a lot, spent a lot of time listening to. It's by an author named Lee Child. It's the Jack Reacher series.
Oh, yeah.
They've just recently optioned 2 of them to be films.
Yes.
And I think it was like the 4th and 8th book or something like that.
Cool.
Starring Tom Cruise, which doesn't make any sense because Jack Reacher is like 6'4".
Wait. You mean Tom Cruise isn't like 6'4" and
No, he's 6'9".
like
Yeah.
So yeah, they
Yeah, they just totally off the rails on that one.
totally off the rails.
But there's 22 books out right now.
whoa.
It's more of a
Holy
true crime feel.
Yeah,
They're all like a whodunit kind of deal. And this guy's he's retired from the military, and he decided that he's going to travel the country and see what he can see in America. And he always finds himself in the biggest messes. And there's always somebody dead. And he's got to find, and people always think it's him for some reason because he just shows up and somebody dies.
yeah.
And he always has to find out who really did it so he can
Very cool. Very cool.
extricate himself from the trouble that he's wound up in there. They're usually pretty entertaining. They're all, when somebody's reading them to you, they're all about 15 hours long. The guy doing the narrations, his name's Dick Hill. He's got a great voice for that stuff. Also, if you're more of an audiobook kind of person, the Dresden Files audiobooks, they're narrated by James Marsters,
And are fantastic.
Nice.
and he does a he's one of the best audiobook narrators I've listened to. If you don't know who that is, it's Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, cool.
He is not British. He's from California.
No.
And he does not narrate with a British accent unless he's Bob.
Right.
Bob has a British accent.
Very cool.
Which is Dresden's Skull Companion, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, you said Skull Companion?
Skull Companion.
Okay.
It's
I'm gonna have to read because I don't tell me.
Just his lab assistant.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
But yeah, so as far as books that I own in physical form, I would have to say the Dresden Files. But otherwise, I've probably spent more time listening to the Lee Child Jack Reacher series.
Very cool. My personal favorite series, I have to go way back for this one because had a cousin that handed me a book, said, "Hey, if you think you would like something in the fantasy realm, you should give this a try." And it was the first book in the Chronicles series, Dragonlance. And I think I was in 7th grade, so it's one of those books. I opened it up, I read the first 3 pages, and like 14 hours later, laid it down and was like, I can't wait to open this book again. Unreal. The writing, the world that they live in, and it is straight up Dungeons and Dragons fantasy, but such a good story. And the first 3 books there, the Chronicles, Volume 1, 2, and 3, I think they were initially put out in the mid to late 80s, and then they went back and retouched and did the Lost Chronicles. And I was so impressed with the fact that the first book ends and the first Lost Chronicle picks up with the next line, like next spoken line.
Oh, wow.
It is so seamless. And it fills the gaps that are in those first 3 chronicles so well. That is just it's just an unreal series. Now, Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman, of course, based these on role playing that they did in the 70s and 80s, and it was the characters and games that they played, tabletop games. So
I did not know that.
yeah. So all of these characters, I can see now, like the people that they know, sitting around a table,
Right.
and you literally have a Tasselhoff character that's there, and that all of that is going on.
Yep.
Can you imagine playing D&D
And-
with that character?
Right?
And which, do you know if it was Weiss or Hickman? They couldn't make up their mind. So that's the reason for the, however you want, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name. The twins,
Mahere.
whatever.
Raceland and
Raceland and
Karaman Mahere.
Sure.
Yeah.
She couldn't decide if she wanted to be a wizard or a fighter. So she rolled both characters that were dependent on each other and played them both.
Played both.
Yeah. And realistically, that character, Raceland, is one of my favorite by far. Enough to spin off other series of books that they wrote specifically based on that character. But, like I say, my favorite is definitely that one. I keep going back to it. I have no idea how many times I've read the Chronicles. I mean, it's one of those where I've worn out like so many copies of those books.
They're really good. They're really good books.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like, because I'm not that intimately familiar with them, having played D&D most of my life, I've heard of them, but I've only read, I think, one. And yeah, they do go back to 84.
Yeah.
So stretching way back.
Yeah. Like I say, I think I was in 7th grade whenever I was handed, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. And
Right.
it was, so yeah, that would have been in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
Early
Those
90s.
are awesome books. And
Great books.
damn you, Sturm.
I know. No, we don't want to spoil it for anyone that's not read the series though. So we'll just say that it's not a Game of Thrones. We're not going to have like multiple deaths like every 3 pages, but some of your favorite characters.
Yeah.
God love you.
Don't get attached to anybody.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, those are the series
So-
that I've grown up on and really enjoyed.
Yeah. And we're talking about books.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think about all these books, comics, everything turning into movies now?
Some good, some bad.
Right.
Some good, some bad.
Who do you think's done it right?
I really think. I really think.
Watch out now. You're about to trigger a whole lot of people.
Okay. I think one of the best adaptations from book to film was Thomas Harris's Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that was a good one.
Really,
Yeah.
really, really good. It's not scene for scene, but the feeling is there. It was done well, really done well. The cast was spot on, I felt like. And then the way it was filmed, I thought it was just all the way around done really, really well. What about you? What do you guys think as far as who did it right?
I have to go with favorite movie because it is a book adaptation and go Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah,
Same type of situation.
I've never read the book.
It's not scene for scene, and there are a few. Some people would say major changes. I would argue that point. For example, the costumes are a little different in the movie than they are in the book, but that who cares?
Well, you have to
it's the
take some
same-
creative liberty with it, right?
Exactly. But if anything, Kubrick actually makes that world even worse than it is in the book. In the book, it's like this weird dystopian future, but Kubrick makes it almost
He adds a grit to it, doesn't he?
post-apocalyptic, even though it's not.
Yeah, he really
It's-
adds grit.
Yeah, so much. Like everything's so gray and drab and just gray, for lack of a better way of saying it. There's like almost no color except in certain scenes. In fact, color is played up really, really well in those scenes where it is used, like Alex's room, for example,
Right.
or
right.
the record store. Other than that, it's like grays and blacks, and it's really just drab. But
Kubrick had a good knack though for taking a literary work, and really making it his own.
Oh,
But
yeah.
still holding true to that literary work.
yeah. No, you're speaking of triggered. You're about to go down a
Well, no, I'm just saying
dangerous
that
path.
he did a really good job with film. That
Yeah.
was his medium. He was not a writer, so
Right.
his medium was film, and he did well with it.
Right. There's a huge following for The Shining, although he caught all kinds.
Really took liberties with that.
Yeah,
film, though.
that's the thing is he
Really
like
did.
went off on his own tangent basically from the book. So you can't really say it's a good adaptation of the book, but it's
No.
an excellent film.
Right, and it would be a standalone film in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, because it really does take its own path.
So, real quick though, speaking of The Shining,
Yes.
have you talked to Davis? How's he doing? Has he gone stir crazy yet?
He's not stir crazy. Of course, right now this is the on season for
Right,
them.
well, all the
they're-
tourists are there
the
right
tourists
now.
are there right now. For those of you who don't know, David Wilson, one of my best buds from like a million years ago. He and I grew up together. He is the caretaker for Many Glacier Hotel in Glacier National Park, Montana. Half or so of The Shining was written at that hotel, and
wow.
he effectively is Jack Torrance. He stays there now year round. At the end of September, early October, Glacier National Park shuts that hotel down. His nearest neighbor is 12 miles away, and he gets snowed in to Mini Glacier Hotel. He and his wife stay there through the winter as the winter caretakers. And yeah, like 20 feet of snow, and his best friend is an elk and stuff like that. I mean, we're talking, yeah. So he really is that character. And yeah, he's doing well though. I mean, the last time I spoke with him, I guess we were on the phone for probably 3 to 4 hours, and he was
losing it that
he
bad.
was
huh?
losing. He was
already gone.
He was gone at that point. No, it was right at the end of the season last year. So, but the last time, I mean, I still talk to him occasionally through Facebook and things like that, and yeah, he's doing well.
That's good. And just a quick plug for him. I don't know where he's at, so apologies for that. But
Montana.
but I mean, on social media, he puts up some astounding photos.
Hey, that's his backyard.
But I mean, that the glaciers and stuff when he's out there, he
Yeah.
gets some amazing shots that
Yes,
he puts up.
he
out
does. He does, and that's one of the things he does. He hikes nonstop now. That's
yeah.
it's one of his big things. I did get a kick out of him. There was a conversation we had when he was out there. They were on this hike, and he was talking about the bears because there are bears everywhere around this
Now
lake.
we're talking
We're talking
black, grizzly, polar. What kind
not
of bears
polar.
they got out
I
there?
guess it would be grizzly. I'm imagining black and
Okay.
grizzly. I guess that would be the
Okay.
things that you'd have in Glacier National Park. You know,
So scary as hell new
scary.
hybrids.
Yeah, you don't mess with these bears. And he literally has the big cans of bear mace. I mean, they look like the wasp spray that we have, and it's like the big things, and they shoot like 50 feet. And
the bear just looks at you and goes,
And
this
no.
one comes with its own seasoning.
the little bells that hang off of his backpack and stuff. And he was like, this you really do have to have these things because they know to listen. They hear these bells, so they know something's coming. It's not a natural sound that they hear, so they will typically run away. Now
They scram out.
yeah, of course, he rounds the corner and there's a bear, even with his little bells and his mace and all that kind of stuff. And he was pretty scared, but he was talking about the whole deal, identifying what kind of bears around by their dung. You've heard of that? No? Dung.
They're poo.
D-U-N-G. Yeah, they're poo. So you know that it's a black bear. If the dung is got berries, like seeds from berries and things like possibly even like fur from like squirrels, small animals and stuff, you know that this is black bear. Now you can tell grizzly though, because their dung smells like pepper spray and has little bells in it. Oh yeah, that's for you, Dave.
That's
Love
pretty
you,
good.
dude.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So I got to say, the one I think got it right, and I'm stretching a little bit here because it's not exactly a book. It's more of a novella, if you will. Stephen King's The Scrimshaw Redaction.
Oh, the Shim Sham redaction. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with Timothy Oliphant
The
in it?
Spielberg reduction.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. The Shawshank Redemption is an excellent, excellent film.
It is. Yeah, I love it. It's like I said, I'm stretching a little bit on that one because it's technically not a book. It's more of a novella,
Right.
but I think it was adapted well to film.
Yes.
If anything, in my opinion, the film actually is much better.
I think that's happened twice to him. I think The Green Mile was also really good. A
Agreed.
really good adaptation of the books, but that was like a series.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty good too.
Yes. Yeah. Stephen King is one of those that's hard to put on film though, because the way he writes, it's hard to
Sometimes-
adapt him.
Yeah.
One film that was his that I didn't even realize was his, The Secret Window. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yep.
It was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and it was one I'm always let down typically with a Stephen King film at the very end because it always
his
ends up
endings are
being
terrible.
it's going to be a giant spider or something. So
Speaking of
yeah,
new
exactly.
It film coming.
Absolutely. And I don't know how I
Tilda
feel
Swinton.
about that because there's a soft spot in my heart for
in
Mr.
it.
Tim Curry.
He's in it.
Yeah, but still, he is Pennywise to me. So,
Right.
but still, though, I really, really thought that film was done well simply because the ending was done well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now we talked about the good ones.
Oh, the bad ones.
So
This
many
is
bad ones.
so many, so much to choose from
So
here.
many.
So much, so much.
Yeah, so many bad
I'm
ones.
gonna give my award.
Razzies.
Well, that's a real thing, so I don't want to get in trouble.
It's not gonna be a
My bad.
Razzie. It's
I'm
more
gonna,
like
I'm gonna
I
give
don't
my
know,
steaming
it's-
pile
There we go.
Yeah.
to Aragon.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
You know that one was
adaptation.
that one. I'd heard so many bad things about that. I didn't even watch it.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think I
okay, so the book is not fantastic. It's written by a 14-year-old kid. Okay,
Right,
but take that into consideration. It is a phenomenal book.
Okay. Okay.
Christopher Paolini, 14 years old, writes this book, and it's kind of like fantasy meets Star Wars.
right.
That's like the best way to describe it. The characters are kind of based off the Star Wars universe. You got the old teacher, the young student, the
He
thing
definitely-
that will never happen again, and the Jedi. Okay. So there's that,
Yeah,
and then
he
it's all
definitely pulls
fantasy.
old standbys to build on.
Yeah, and it's fantasy of dragons and dwarves and all this other thing. The movie was just a steaming pile. It was so bad. There's this race of evil creatures that are sweeping through the land, and I don't know if this is just epic racism on the part of the director, but they're like these other they're hideous creatures. They're not, in the movie they're like, special effects, we can't afford it. Just cast a bunch of black dudes. It'll be
really?
fine. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
that's low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just bad. The dragon looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
For putting wing or feathers on it, rather.
Well, but I mean, it had a unique look, and
Agreed.
it integrated into the film well,
Right.
for CG. But yeah, it was just such a bad adaptation.
I really don't think I saw that film.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
So my steaming pile, and I'm gonna go here because typically I like the guy, and I may be one of those oddballs for saying this, but I really like Baz Luhrmann for the most part.
Okay,
But
all I
his
know is the sunscreen song. So you're
Okay, so no. So his adaptation of Romeo and Juliet in 1996 with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
was horrid. I mean, it was almost unwatchable.
Oh, come on, I had John Leguizamo.
Even though there were
did.
scenes, specific like 30-second scenes that I could watch over and over and over. I love the death of Mercutio.
Yeah.
Awesome scene. I love the death of Tybalt. Awesome scene. The rest of the film, yeah, not so much. And like I say, I normally like Baz Luhrmann. I really enjoyed Moulin Rouge. Even like Strictly Ballroom, I liked. But I like musicals, so I'm out there. I'm weird, I guess, because I like that kind of stuff. So, but that's the one that I definitely have to say is my steaming pile award, recipient.
Fair enough. You got anything, Mike?
The problem is narrowing it down to one. There's been so many bad ones done. When I was looking over, trying to narrow it down, the one that kind of leaps out at me every time is Spawn, which I think is why McFarlane is currently writing, producing, directing, and I guess at this point probably starring in a remake. It should have been a fantastic film. It should have been really well done, but the CG's terrible. Some of the acting is terrible. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. It's really disjointed. It was not done well.
Well, I mean, the comics ran for what, like 300 issues?
Something like that.
And they tried to make an hour and a half movie out of it?
Exactly. They tried to cram, it was another incident of trying to cram way too much material into a very short amount of time.
So you guys both just really hate John Leguizamo is what
It's
I'm
what,
gathering.
yeah, it's
No,
what it's
I mean-
coming down to.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say hate. No, I'm kidding.
Hate's a strong word.
Hate is a strong word. No, strongly dislike. No, I'm kidding.
He just gets
I'm kidding.
involved
No,
in terrible
really,
projects.
He really does. I guess
Until lately, because let me tell you, John Wick and John Wick 2 are fantastic films, even though he only has bit parts in them.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's only
does-
in them for small amounts of time, but he plays a really good character, a really cool character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not even that I have anything against John Leguizamo.
No, not at all. Because I mean, I typically I like him in most things that he's in. Like I say, even in my my recipient for that award is definitely he's one of the stronger points in that movie.
I would agree with that. He
mean,
plays that character very well.
He really does.
And
He
kind
really
of
does.
building off what you said, that movie should have almost been filmed in 30-second to 2-minute clips and done like as episodic things like MTV used to do, for example.
Right.
It would have worked that way. It doesn't work very well as an hour and 45, 2 hour long movie. But like you were saying, some of the scenes are really well shot. They're
Yes, they
brilliantly
are.
acted. It's just kind of,
The cohesiveness of it is just not there.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't hold itself together very well.
Right. So okay, what about anything upcoming? Or did you? Yeah. What are you thinking?
Books?
Yeah,
Books.
anything upcoming that you're looking forward to?
So just to reach out of complete left field, that's
Okay.
something I haven't talked about at all.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to do the same.
Really reaching.
Yeah. Like, do you need?
Sorry, I got choked.
Oh, don't get choked. Don't get choked.
I'm not. I'm that emotional about this book coming out. It's got me on edge. No, it's the third book of a series called The Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
The title of the book is Oathbringer, and I'm really looking forward to it. Brandon Sanderson has been writing fantasy for a while. I think The Stormlight is one of his better stories. Most people know him as the guy that took over and wrapped up the Wheel of Time series from Robert Jordan.
Okay. Yeah.
But he has several other series under his belt of his own. But that's where most people that I know here locally anyway, that's where they know him from. But the Stormlight Archives is really good. It's more high fantasy, kings and different races and all this stuff, kind of a deal.
Very cool.
But
Very cool.
It's really good. Yeah, magic and all that stuff. What about you?
I don't really have anything to add to that part of the conversation. I'm still waiting on the Dresden Files.
Cool.
I know Butcher's got some stuff going on in personal life. I won't delve into that, but it's been, I think, 4 years now. It's time. we need something.
Well, it's got a date set for November, right?
Yeah, but they've changed it now like 4 or 5 times. Last time I looked on his Twitter updates, the book still isn't actually done. So I don't know now. It keeps
fair
getting pushed back and pushed back. I would push really, really hard at this point to relaunch the TV series, but I guess that would be a whole other conversation. So yeah, the only thing I've really got to look forward to right now that comes to mind is Dresden Files. So I'm holding out for that.
Right on.
Okay. So my Cheetos, You know, because you always hear, okay, read this because it's really good. You know, you need to read that. You got to read this over here. But whenever I'm reading my Cheetos, because you know everybody likes Cheetos,
Right.
You know, so the one that I really like, I love Dan Brown.
Yeah.
Robert Langdon, that character, one of my favorites, just because I don't know, he's just so well rounded as a character, and he has a new book coming out called Origin. It should be out October 3rd. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to that one. I like the way he writes. I like the way his books are laid out. And I love the character development. So that's the one that I seem to be looking forward to more than any of the others at the moment.
Nice.
Yep. So,
Very cool.
yep. So, yeah, that's the one that I've been looking forward to, though. Yeah.
Cool. It sounds like a lot of fun. And I don't think there's really anything else we can talk about books.
Well, there's always more books we can talk about.
Well, there's more books we can talk about.
Yeah, but yeah. So, I mean, that covers the gist of it, I guess. So
The high points.
the favorites, the favorite series. You know,
Right?
Yeah,
So there you go, everybody. If you're looking for something to read,
yeah,
because you're a nerd like us, check out one of those things that we just talked about.
absolutely.
And it is still summertime, so there is still, at least a week or two of time to kill.
Yeah, find a rainy day, if nothing else. I think we have a few of those coming up. So,
It's Kentucky. Yeah, wait.
absolutely.
If we don't have a few coming up, just wait a week.
Yeah. Okay. So, there was a topic that you shared with us there, Mr. Claywell, that I thought was very interesting. The Pokemon,
Oh,
the big event that took place in Chicago. Holy cow!
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't heard, if you're not nerds like us that follow this kind of geek culture stuff, a while back, a company called Niantic made a phone app game called Pokemon Go. Now, there's a lot of funny stuff about this game. So when it launched, Nintendo stock prices soared. The funny thing is, Nintendo has nothing to do with this game. And when that information reached the public at large, Nintendo stock prices plummeted.
Crashed.
Also, when they released this game, everyone had trouble connecting to their servers.
There
You
were
couldn't
so
get
many
online
people
anywhere.
online.
Yeah.
Well, they finally got all that straightened out, and Niantic, the developer of this game, decided they were going to have this huge Pokemon Fest in Grant Park, I believe it was.
Okay, and for those of you who don't play the game, that if you've seen this, basically the app comes up, it opens the camera on your phone so that way you can see the world around you, and it digitally inserts various Pokemon characters into your world, and you have to collect them all. You have to capture them all.
It's like a augmented reality.
Yeah, it really is. And I can recall in my classroom, honest to God, there have been Pokemon sitting on my desk. Yeah. We've had the conversation in my classroom. You're not supposed to have your phone out. Turn that thing off and blah, 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 blah.
All right, kids,
Okay.
you
Yep.
can't catch me. Stop throwing Pokeballs at my desk.
Yep, not going to happen. Not going to happen. So,
A wild ham appeared.
a wild ham. Yeah.
So Niantic throws this big festival in Grant Park in Chicago. Now, locals have stated that if you're in Grant Park, you're going to be lucky to get one bar of cell phone service.
Sounds like the perfect place to have, 10,000
An
Pokemon Go players
Very well thought out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
descend on this place with absolutely no cell service, so that way everybody can log on, right?
Exactly.
Right. Now, the big draw was Niantic promised that there were going to be very rare Pokemon that were going to be force spawned throughout Grant Park.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
yeah.
the names of these Pokemon. I've never followed Pokemon. I'm too old. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. This was the next generation just after us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
This-
Yeah.
It caught big right as I was graduating high school.
pretty much. Yeah.
But they were charging $20 a ticket to get into the park. And And people traveled from all over the country to attend this thing because this was going to be their big chance to catch these super rare Pokemon.
Yeah.
They were going to be force spawned here. They knew they were going to be here, and people bought plane tickets to come to this thing to catch these Pokemon.
Right. And I mean,
Niantic
vendors set up. I mean, this was a big deal.
It was a huge.
Yeah,
huge
I mean, they
festival.
had like people dressed in the Pokemon costumes, so you could get your picture taken with these things. I mean, it was a huge deal for these players.
Right. Niantic, in their epic wisdom and the foresight that they've demonstrated throughout their existence as a company, didn't see fit to contact any of the national cell providers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and say, hey, we're going to have 30,000 people coming to the park.
And all of them are going to be online at the same time.
With their phones.
Please boost your signal.
Yeah, please bring the trucks. No, they have towers on trucks that they bring for these events. Like these big events, like Thunder over Louisville.
That's
all
really
that stuff.
cool.
They have the current
mobile hotspots.
The current infrastructure that is there cannot support that influx of users, so they have to bring in more towers.
Cool.
But Niantic didn't bother with any of that.
Why would you?
Yeah, I mean, it's Chicago after all, right?
Right. So they get all these people out here, and
And they
no
started
service.
super early, right? It was like 6 in the
Yeah,
morning or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. So finally at like 2 p.m., the CEO of Niantic comes out on stage and apologizes that, maybe we made a mistake. We're sorry that the cell phone service isn't what we thought it would be. And offers to give people
The rare Pokemon, right?
Oh, no.
No? I thought they were going to force that into their people's
They were
accounts.
they were going to force them to spawn at the park, but you
Right.
still had to catch them.
Because you have to play the game. I mean,
Yeah, you still have to play the game.
Right.
What they're I'm trying to find the exact number. I think it was something like 100 Poke coins or whatever the in-game currency is that they use.
Okay.
That was what they offered them for their
That went over like
For
a
their
lead
trouble?
balloon, didn't it?
yeah, for we're sorry you bought a round trip plane ticket and a hotel and 2 days vacation from your job to come out here. We're going to give you some in-game currency. Yeah, so it just didn't go. It was a horrible fest, and that was $100. Oh, I'm sorry, $100 worth of in-game Pokemon coins.
Pokecoins, yeah.
Yeah, not $100 of
No,
coins,
and
but
giving a Lugia, Lugia, to all registered attendees. This was one of the rare Pokemon.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't Pokemon, so I didn't know.
So
what
that
meant.
would have been that's what I was thinking. That I'd read that they were going to force one of the rare into their game
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So they didn't go away empty-handed. They were coming to get that. But here's the thing: if you're going to one of these events, you're going to play. That's what you want to do.
Exactly. Right.
So it's almost like cheating. They're like saying, "Okay, well, sorry, you didn't get to play. Here, just have the." That's not cool. Not
Right.
cool at all. I mean, part of the fun of the game is going around and searching and trying to find these things. So, yeah. So I guess he would have done better by giving away butt phone cases. Have you seen these things?
I have.
Oh my God. I actually, before you shared this little tidbit, I actually was sitting in the parking lot of the big box store in town. And NPR did a article on this on Wait, Don't Tell Me, if I'm not mistaken. They were talking about it.
Yep.
And that was the which one of these things is the real deal, and the butt phone case is it. $70.
$70.
But it is supposed to feel like a gluteus maximus. It's
It's supposed to feel like a human butt cheek.
yeah.
The designer of it's a case. For anybody that doesn't know, it's a cell phone case made specifically right now for iPhones.
The material simulates skin.
The exterior material simulates skin. The consistency of the product inside is supposed to feel like a butt cheek. And if you're looking at the back of the phone, it actually has two little humps that you can squeeze.
That would have gone over better, I think, than the Pokemon Pokecoins and the
Everybody could have been walked away grabbing some booty.
Grabbing some booty.
Yeah.
Rather than in-game booty, actual booty.
That's right.
And on that note, guys, I think we probably should come to a close. What do you think?
That's probably a good place to stop.
I mean,
we've reached the end.
Hey, we've reached the bottom of this subject, if you will. It doesn't get any lower than this. So,
No.
Mr. Claywell, it has been a pleasure as always.
Of course it has, Mr. Ham.
Mr. Marples, it has been awesome having you with us, and I
Thanks,
hope
sir.
to see you here.
Yeah, hopefully
again
you'll come
very,
back.
very, very soon.
Whenever you want to have me, I'll be glad to be here.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Good
All
deal.
right.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night.